now coming up. Welcome to New Realities. I'm Alan Steinfeld. And if you got the New York Post yesterday, on page 24, you would have seen this picture of me in my well-known bathtub. And I've gotten hundreds of emails around the planet. And I'm here to talk about not just the bathtub, but the world in general with my good friend, Tom Chanault. Tom, you have a little bathtub story yourself, don't you?
Oh my gosh. I cannot believe that you're a bathtub guy. Number one, that you take baths, because very few people do anymore.
Right.
I have a bathtub, Alan, that's not a dinosaur like yours. Mine's got a little button on it that turns it into a crock pot. So the water stays hot for days.
Oh, I didn't know
It
you
is
could do
the
that.
greatest invention. It probably cost me $50 for that upgrade.
Really?
I can stay in the bathtub for hours. So if you ever get to, I would strongly say never get rid of that bathtub. But if you ever do, get a heater for it. It's unbelievable.
No, I don't plan on getting rid of that bathtub. That bathtub has been in my apartment long before I was. Since 1890, that apartment building was built in New York City. It was where the immigrants moved, lived when they first arrived. And there was probably a family of 10 in there, all sharing the bath. And then there was a toilet down the hall. A lot of that's been upgraded, but my bathtub is still there. And that is how I get clean. Actually, the name of the article, I think, was Cleaning Up with Alan Steinfeld. So somebody else wrote to me, making a big splash. So yeah, I heard people jump in your bathtub with you when
all the time
at your place, huh?
All the time. I've had 3 different homes that over the last 30 years, and in every home I had a snazzy bathtub because I'm a bathtub guy, and people actually make a point of asking me to take a photograph in the bathtub with them. So I've got 100, or maybe even 1,000 pictures of bathtubs with people with me in them. You're my idol, Alan. I did not know that. The New York Post is so exciting, incredible.
Let's see if I can get you in the New York Post. That was very nice of them to put me in the Post. Let me just, for people tuning in late, I was been talking about this picture, page 24 from July 29th. They are photographing me in this rare picture of a New York City apartment with a bathtub in the kitchen. That is my kitchen with my pots and pans, my scrub brush. Someone sent me this little card on the bathtub, but it's at the 4-leg, I guess, what do they call those 4-legged bathtubs? And it's not enamel. I asked somebody who knew this. He said it was ironed with enamel laid over it. So, and it's good enough, big enough for 2. So next time you're in town, Tom,
take a bath. Unbelievable. It's a deal.
It's not by, and I've had people that I've known, I guess, for 40 years saying, I've been in that bathtub.
Oh my gosh. I look forward to it.
Yes. Okay. But you know, what I really want to talk to you about and what we've been talking about in this series, and you had some ideas you wanted to talk about too, was the incredible networking that you do, because I've never met you in person, but yet I'm on your speed dial. I hear from you, catch up. I mean, you keep up with hundreds of people a day, friends and business. And how do you do that? What gets you excited about people?
Yeah. I am not the smartest tack in the box. And I never have been. I'm not good looking. I got none of that going for me. But what I have going for me is I remember everybody. And I've done it since I was 19 years old, when I realized, working in a restaurant, that the only reason people came back to that restaurant, they didn't come for the food, they didn't come for the price, they didn't come for the location, they came to be remembered. Mm-hmm. And I made a mission way back then to build a little 3x5 card on every customer that walked in the door. I would write down what they loved most about themselves. And then when they came back in, I would comment on that. And they so looked forward to it. They'd bring their friends, their family, and it just grew like that. And it's become my life. And I call it contact mapping.
Wow. So you started what at 16 with little index cards and your
Yeah,
Rolodex, and you've just kept that up. And but tell me like the root of that. Why? And I'm a people person too, but what was fascinating? Why did you do that? Why did you want to do that? What was the point of it?
because what I realized, those are such smart questions. What I realized is what people like about me is what I remember about them. And
Uh,
that guy, the guy over in the corner, was never as anything as me. Yet he had all the girls, he had all the friends. And I kept saying to myself, how is that happening? My product costs less. It's better than the competition. And that guy's got all the business. It's because he was interested, not interesting, and realized they were buying him, not the product.
wow. So you're not just doing it, I don't think, just for the product or the business. I think you are actually genuinely interested in people. And I think that's all this is an excuse to meet people, have people like you, because I think we live in a world of people, and that's our reality, and that's what I feel like. Who's there? What can I? That's why I do the show. What can I learn from this guy, Tom? How does he expand who I am? That's what I do it for. So
So I'm doing a Zoom
yeah.
every morning for the last 12 years.
Mhm,
A conference call, then a Skype, now it's a Zoom.
mhm,
And 20, 30 people would show up every morning. I've done it every day for 12 years. And I'll do it tomorrow. I did it today.
mhm.
And all of a sudden the pandemic hit and everybody's coming to the Zooms. And
Right.
they don't have their cameras on. And when they do turn their cameras on, they look terrible. And that was very interesting to me. So I started in this pandemic having the person that kind of runs the Zoom for me. I realized that looking at me the entire time was extremely boring. I would rather look at your bathtub than me. So
Right.
as a result of that, I decided that I would run the Jumbotron on Zoom around the horn. So
And
now
what does that mean? The
that
jumbotron.
means you spotlight the other guy's video.
Oh, okay, okay.
So all of a sudden, the attendance on my Zooms is now 150. It's
Wow.
gone up 10 times. And the people are dressed to the nines. And not only
Wow.
that, we bounce and I mention their name and a little bit about all of them because over this pandemic, I've gotten to know them. And what I have realized is all of a sudden, these people are lost, they're scared, they're invisible, they're unplugged, they're lonely.
Yes, yes, you're absolutely.
100%.
That's
And
great.
I realized finally that I got to get more connected than ever before in a world that is trying to disconnect. We're all ID numbers. You can't talk to a human being at Amazon, eBay, anywhere. And I am the opposite of that. And I built an app called Contact Mapping. So if you
What?
go to the App Store, it's free. You go into the App Store, you get Contact Mapping. And all of a sudden, instead of just putting somebody's name and phone number in the phone, the app pops up with a camera, says, do you want to take a picture, Alan? And you snap a picture. Then it says, then you hit save and it says, what else do you know about Alan? And the microphone pops up and I pop in Alan's life story that no one can find on social media.
Right,
And
right, right.
all
No,
of a sudden, it's
I
magic.
and people love it because what you've done, Tom, is take your passion for people, you digitized it, you monetized it, you revitalized it, and you optimized it. So all
Wow,
those
well said. Yeah, all those eyes.
you could use that in your promotional
Yeah,
campaign.
no kidding.
But
But I'd never be able to say it. But here's the deal, Alan.
Mhm,
You've got hundreds of thousands of connections.
I do, I do.
And every one of them know you. Oh, I'm doing something else that's so phenomenal now. I have to tell you my new.
Yeah, tell me all your good stuff. Yeah.
So I love the fact that you got such a great heart. I love the fact that you've got incredible interviews And I love your bathtub. I love the connectedness of the people that you're around. And I love your vision for the world and that you've been in New York City for 40 years and you're an icon there. I love that about you.
Thank
That's
you,
what I love.
Tom. Thank
That's
you.
what I
That's
have mapped. Let me ask you a question.
anything you want now that we're friends. Yeah.
What do
Okay.
you like most about me?
You know, the thing that's amazing about you, and I don't know you well, but you can actually talk about anything to anyone, anytime. You know, it's like you just somehow tune into that person and you have them sized up, you get their number, so to speak, and suddenly you're their best friend. And I know it's not just me because I've seen you do it with other people, and what I like about what I know about you is that the mapping, contact mapping, is an excuse to expand your own consciousness. So you know, you are like me, a people person, and people make up our reality. We are fascinated by the variations, I'm guessing, I don't know that well, of the manifestation of spirit in form, incarnate. How does it show up in that meat body bag?
So here's the deal.
Okay.
Aside from 40 of the words that I didn't understand.
Okay.
So wait, I go to you. I just hit the button. There's Alan Steinfeld. There's the microphone. What he loves about me is the fact that I can instantly relate with anybody. And I do it beyond the superficial and get into the meat and potatoes of every human being I meet. He loves that about me.
Yes.
I hit that save, and then I hit follow up. So I'm going to call you and remind you of how much you love me for that reason in a month. And you're going to say, Tom Chanault called me, because all we want to be is remembered and loved. Alan, it's a magic trick.
Okay. So, but don't you want something about me that you can remember and love and say?
I've already got you completely mapped. I got your whole life. I told you this morning, I went through all your interviews. I saw Marianne Williamson. I constantly go deep on you. I want to know more about you literally every day.
You're scaring me, Tom, please.
I only wish, and it is so amazing that I read the New York Post every day of my life.
Yeah.
Every day of my life. It is so astounding.
I can't believe you missed me yesterday.
I can't wait to go down and get my iPad that I read the New York Post on. If it's in there, I am calling you with an apology. I think it wasn't there.
It's there. It's in the real estate section because it was actually #1 trending in real estate. So
wow, that's
on
so
the
exciting.
In the Post. I'm going to show it to people one more time just because it's a classic picture right there. That's me, my bathtub from the 1890s, really. And that's when I'm still living there, Tom, you know, and it's how I get clean, getting clean. And so the headline was why bathtubs bizarrely wound up in the kitchen. So I told the reporter, don't you think it's very barbaric to wash and bathe where you go to the toilet? That is like a primitive setup in modern bathroom. I'm living in luxury, Tom. Who wants to? It's really gross. Why would you want to go to the toilet right next to the bathing? It doesn't make sense.
That's 100% correct.
So this is luxury. This is luxury in New York. If you really
are a trend-setting man, there is no doubt about it. But here's the deal.
Yes.
In this pandemic, we need hope, happiness, and maybe some wild, wacky people in our lives instead of watching that crazy television set that's trying to scare us out of our wits. Why not open up an article about a guy taking a bath in his bathtub for the last 40 years
in the kitchen, in my kitchen? That's right. You know, why I think it started to be trending, because after all this bad news and all this tragedy and all that drama, this was something fun. This wasn't about any of that. This was just clean, old-fashioned fun. And it really went wild. I got a guy from the London Times calling me. I got people calling me, wanting to do follow-up stories. It's like, who would have thought, like, you know, for me, it's normal. just, I bathe, I scrub, I got my scrub brush there in my hand in that picture. And then I go into my sauna after the bath. I have a whole spa in my East Village apartment with a little stand-up sauna, which is infrared, which actually that might be something you would enjoy. I'll get you a discount on that. Okay, Tom?
That I will take that for sure.
Okay, I'll send you a link to my infrared sauna. And I have a whole technique I do it there. It's like I have a whole spa day in my one bedroom apartment there.
You have an infrared sauna in your apartment?
Yes, I do. It's a stand-up tent size. Let me see if I can find that. So I do my bathtub and then I do my infrared sauna. And that's all you really need there if you want to like have a whole spa happening. Let me see if I can find my infrared sauna there. Infrared. It's great. No, my infrared infrared sauna. I'm going to look this up on my YouTube channel. Actually, anyone could go to my YouTube channel and just look that up because I have about 2,000 interviews on
Jennifer
my
Aniston. Apparently,
okay, there it is on my. So I do the bathtub, which is great, and then I do the sauna. Let me show you here if I can get a picture of it. Me and my sauna. You're gonna love this. You don't need a lot of space. It folds up, and when you need it, you pull it out from under the couch, which I store all my vital pieces there, and you put it up and you display it. So yeah, I'll show it to you. That's right here. Okay, here it is on my, let me see, are you still there? I'm just looking for it. Okay, let me see if I can pull this up on, okay, here it is. Here it is. This is what it looks like in the bag, and there let me see. I'm getting it. I'm wearing my clothes here. That's it. That's the infrared sauna right there. And let me go back to that. And so I do the bathtub and then I sit in the sauna. But you know what's so great about this sauna? Usually I just stuck my head out for show. I put a towel over the top. I take the chair out that's in it. I sit on the floor and then I get this heat in my face. And this is coming out of I take a hot tub followed by a cold rinse, jump into the sauna, and there you have it. A whole spa in your East Village apartment. People love it.
And you do that every day?
No, I do it more in the winter. And when the winter, I do it every day. Yeah, I would say in the summer, it's a little hot for a sauna, but I do it at least once a week. I have aches, pains. The infrared heat goes deep, penetrating to the body. So if you have any inflammation or any pain, the infrared really zaps it out. So it's hot, but you're really getting the light from the infrared. And I'll put a link there for people who want to order that, and I'll send you a link too. So, and they're only like
that. Yeah, definitely. Please put that up because actually that's something I could. Everybody tells me I need one of those, and your skin looks awesome.
Yeah, well, thank you. I put oil on it. I stay out of the sun pretty much, which I don't think you've been doing lately. You look a little burn there, Tom.
Okay, so I want you to look at this. I'm putting this up to the camera. That is a text. That's a text right 2 seconds ago from Mark Victor Hansen, Chicken Soup from the Soul.
Great.
500 million books sold. And here's what the text says. Tom, cover yourself with Edgar Casey's Palma de Cristo oil.
Yes.
Right now. You will heal. Get to a hypnotherapist to get you to believe you are not burned. I did it in Cancun. That's Mark Victor Hansen, the famous Mark Victor Hansen, talking the same language as you.
Well, I have a lot to talk to Mark Victor Hansen about because I use a lot of Edgar Casey products. You know what Palm de Cristo oil is? It's castor oil, Tom.
That's what he said, castor oil.
Castor oil. But
So wait a second. Look what I sent him right after that.
Oh,
You in the
Right.
bathtub.
great, great,
I'll
great.
get you on his show. I'll get you him on your show.
Yeah, get him on my show because I want to tell everyone about this device. You see what this is?
No.
This is something Edgar Casey recommended. It's called a Radiac, and it's really a battery that functions with cold water, ice, and there's nickel and zinc in here. When you immerse that in cold water, it creates a current between the two metals, and you hook these electrodes. It's a very mild current. You hook these things up to your body, and you get this very mild energizing current. I do too. You will have the best sleep with this. So
I can't believe it.
this is one of the best Edgar Casey devices I've ever had. It's called the Radiac. Go to Bear and Company, BAAR.com. They sell the Palm de Crystal oil there, but they sell a lot of Edgar Casey products. He recommended this, and you know what Edgar Casey was. He was a sleeping prophet. He'd go into a trance and really talk about health mostly. He recommended this, and I think in over 500 different sessions with people, the Radiac and the Wet Cell. And this has rejuvenated me. This is the best thing. You're going to thank me even more after than the sauna that you're going to thank me for.
Can you spell it?
Radiac. Radiac.
R-A-D-I-A-D?
Radiac. Radiac. And you are going to just thank me every time you use that. And it's the best thing. That's going to change your life. That is going to change your life. The Radiac here. This is a health tip along with the sauna. And actually, I'm going to put my sauna link in this chat there. So yeah, I'm going to put my sauna link in the video chat that I got going on YouTube. This is for the sauna people. And then I'll put, yeah, I'm going to put that in there. New Realities, 100% discount offer. Let me only, okay. Oh, okay. Okay, there we go. I got this up on my YouTube. Is Mark Victor Hansen watching now? Do you know?
All right. My dog's barking.
Oh, you want to get your dog?
I'm going to stop barking.
That's okay. No, I don't mind a little dog barking. It makes it seem like you're a family guy.
Okay, so yeah, Mark Victor Hansen, I did not send him the link to watch you live on YouTube because I don't have it. So text it to me and I'll tell him to pop on.
I'm going to put this in the chat right now. Tell him I'm a big fan. I'd love to interview him. I mean, I'm going to put this in the chat box for you here. Let's see, chat. Okay, I'm putting this in there. I'm also putting the link for the sauna in there. Okay. And also put the link, I'm also putting the link for Bear, where you order all this, and Bear.com. I'm sure he uses Bear too. They're the really only makers of the Edgar Casey product. And ask him if he does the Radiac, Radiac, Radiac. And
okay.
And the thing about the Radiac, I'll put that in the chat too. You're gonna love this. Radac. I just changed your life there, Tom. The thing about this, once you use this battery on yourself, you cannot share it with anyone else. It harmonizes to your body's frequency.
Really?
Yeah, this is my personal Radiac that I've used for 10 years, maybe 20 years. And there's add-ons to this, but this is a good way to start you off with the Radiac. And what I do when I plug this in, I don't really plug it in, I put it in cold water, ice water. When I start to feel the current sort of goes through your whole body and it sort of locates the points where there's issues. So if you're having a pain, it intensifies that point until it clears it, until the current clears it, and then it goes on to a next spot. And so it's sort of miraculous. It really is. This is the first time I've actually really been public about my radiac experiences, but
Wow.
I'm happy you brought that thing. You know, there's nothing we can't share with each other, Tom.
You pulled that arrow right out of your quiver. Now, yesterday I had Dr. Joel Wallach,
Yeah.
and you are a big proponent of longevity. In fact, you're one of the top guys in longevity.
Well, I don't know if I'm
And
one of the top guys, but I'd like to be because
you are.
I am.
Yeah. What's your put your website in the chat so I can talk
Okay,
about
yeah,
it.
let me get that website, my Vital. Thank you for promoting that. But tell us a little bit about longevity and Dr. Wallach, because he is a gift, that guy. He
So
is
yesterday I
yeah.
interviewed Mark Victor Hansen and Art Linkletter about 5 years ago.
You
Art
did
had
Art
just started
Linkletter?
Art had just started a new business at age 94 in the solar space. And Mark and Art wrote a book called How to Make the Rest of Your Life the Best of Your Life. So I'd interviewed Mark 4 or 5 times prior to that. So then, do you know the name Bernie Dorman?
No, I do not know a Bernie Dorman.
Young guy, 65 years old. On Twitter, he posts day 9 of COVID. Don't get it. It's horrible. 2 weeks later, he's dead. Good friend.
Dead? You said
Dead.
dead?
Dead. 2 weeks
Really?
later, he's
Why?
dead. So Saturday, I go to his service online. It started at 1 o'clock. My wife, 600 people on there. My wife at 6 o'clock comes down and says, "Is this funeral almost over? We got to go out to dinner." I said, "I don't know, but we'll go out to dinner." I jumped up, I walked out. I came back at 11 p.m. and the funeral with people doing testimonies on this guy it was still going on at 11 p.m. The
Who
why
was
I tell you that is
Yeah.
they wouldn't stop talking about the contribution Mark Victor Hansen had been making towards this guy. So all of a sudden I said, I got to find Mark again. So I reached out to Mark and I said, and in the course of the conversation, Mark's getting up there too. I started talking about Dr. Wallach and he said, "Is Dr. Wallach still alive?" And I go, "Heck yes, he's working harder than ever." Then he said, "That guy's a genius. I used to work with him up in Boise, Idaho. We spoke to 400 people. I love him. Can you get us on the phone?" So I said, that'd be easy. So I thought about doing a three-way call. And instead I said, why don't I just get these guys on a Zoom and I'll just do a three-way call and I'll get out of the way and I'll let 300 of my closest friends listen. So yesterday afternoon, I did this interview with Mark, who is a genius. He knows Marshall Thurber. He knows everybody, all the thought leaders on the planet. So he turns around and starts talking to Dr. Wallach, and they both came to the conclusion that this not only is this world very, very scared, it's very, very sick, and the earth is actually sick. And Dr. Wallach is convinced that it's a nutritionless world, earth, and that we plugged all the dams. And as a result of that, no nutrition's getting anywhere. And Mark followed it every inch of the way. And these guys brought the rain. And my suggestion to you, Alan, would to be exactly what I did. Forget about me. I'll get you Mark Victor Hansen. I'll get you Dr. Wallach. You guys sit down and talk and do exactly what I did with those two guys that you could do better. You're much, much better at what I do than I am. But I'm telling you one thing right now, it was epic. And this message of Dr. Wallach about minerals and vitamins, and you need to be on 90 essential nutrients if you have a heartbeat, is more pertinent and important than it was 40 years ago when he started the speech with Dead Doctors Don't Lie.
You're absolutely right. Doc Wallach has devised formulas that will supply the nutrition that we have been robbed of because our soil is depleted. We don't have the nutrition coming into our bodies that we've used to have. So, I'm just looking for my promotional piece because I am part of Longevity. Talk a little bit about Longevity though, too, and why.
So it's a little company Dr. Wallach founded. He
It's not a
decided that,
little company though, is it?
no, it's a couple $100 million a year. It's good size. But at the end of the day, he decided that he needs to change the health of the world and he can't do it one patient at a time. So he said, if I can just build the tools, which he's built, if you go to drjwallach.com, you can see completely his entire arsenal of nutritional tapes and things like that. If I can educate this masses and I can teach those people to go educate the other people, I can do a whole lot more for this planet than I would if I were seeing one patient at a time. So he did that. And he started this company called Youngevity. He put together a compensation plan, which is called multi-level marketing, and it is word of mouth. And I know some of you don't like those three words together, multi-level marketing. That has been the greatest thing that ever happened to this former stockbroker ever. I haven't had a drink in 32 years. I have don't dedicated my life to Alcoholics Anonymous and helping people get straight. And I believe that God said, I'm going to help you make a living to do just that, Tom. And since 1999, I've been with Dr. Wallach. I now have over 1 million customers in my organization and a big group. And it's given me the ability to meet people of unbelievable character like Alan. I mean, that's what's happened to me. And
But
you can do it too.
I know, but the reason you have 1 million people is because of your networking skills, Tom. It's like
Yeah.
you're a genius that way. So it was natural for you to just, you know, be a huge network marketer because you believe in the product, you love people, you want to help people, and you want to help people with this product. So you have got the perfect formula there, really.
Did you see your eyes light up as you talked about Edgar Casey and
Yeah.
the machine and the sauna? I don't care what in life you get passionate about. Just get passionate like that about something. You'll figure out a way to make some money at it. And for me, it was my health. It was Dr. Wallach because I saw so many people getting better. I saw so many people solving their financial problems that I said, I have to be a part of this. And I became a major part of it. I'm a major part of his company. But I'll tell you one thing right now, everybody can do it. You just have to find your why and find your passion.
Well, you know, that's one of the best things. I'm going to look, I'll find that. I want to just get that. You know, that is one of the best things you've ever said because I studied Chinese medicine and it goes along with what you're saying. You know, in Chinese medicine, they say the lowest form of healing is making someone better.
Yeah.
The next level is keeping them well. But the highest form of medicine is connecting people to their passion. That's what gets people, like you said, lit up and healthy. If you can help people find what they're passionate about, and everyone's passionate about something, or else they wouldn't be here, that will bring them health and, like you say, wealth. That is the secret, Tom. You just said it. Really. If you
Yeah.
find your passion, and your passion, I think what I like about you is helping people and talking to people and finding out about people. And what's
The
that?
company is called Youngevity.
That's right.
Youngevity. It is not an accident that the first three letters are you, because our job is to help you find your why, find your passion, find you, so you are so authentic, so transparent, so vulnerable that people say, I want what he's doing. When people are watching this thing today, they're looking at your skin, Alan. They're looking at your vibrancy and your soul, and they're saying, I want to take what he's taken. And that's exactly how Youngevity is built. And our job is to help you build your best you. And the rest of it becomes Dr. Wallach, his message, and all that transfer buying, because Dr. Wallach believes it's stupid to go to the store when you can buy from yourself. So
Yeah.
he's got coffee. He's got essential oils. He's got nutrition. He's got skincare. He's got business services. He's even got credit card processing. So instead of going outward, you're constantly going inward. And that's the same thing with what Alan is doing. What Alan's doing with new realities
Mhm.
is having people get into a space called rigorous self-inquiry, where they're getting away from everything out there and they're looking inward with some radical self-inquiry to become better, more thoughtful, more well-versed people, and then sharing that with people like me. That's how we fell in love with one another. We haven't even taken a bath yet. And then
We
you go
haven't
out
even
there.
met, Tom, so don't go overboard. You're scaring me again, but that's okay. You're a great guy, I think.
And then you can, I'll bring some mace for you in case I get frisky. And then the last thing we do is we go out and share it with other people and find like-minded wizards, not warriors. I'm sick of war. I'm looking for like-minded wizards that want to sprinkle this nutritional magic dust on people, whereby they're able to improve their health, their hope, and their financial situation. That's all I live for. That's my whole life. And drunk and sober people. That's it.
Yeah, so go to Youngevity. You're looking at this. Go to youngevity.com. Tell them you've seen this on my New Realities program. You want more information because this, what are some of the things that Youngevity products help people with?
Okay. Every human being is made of vitamins and minerals. I hate to break it to you. So, vitamins and minerals and water. So, your body takes a certain amount of vitamins, a certain amount of minerals, and a few essential fatty acids in order for you to absolutely have your body optimally operate. So Dr. Wallach sells something called the Healthy Start Pack. And for you out there, obviously with what's going on out there in the world with a bunch of this stuff, there's these viruses and things like that, there's a few other things that you want to buy to be on the safe side. But Alan, if you can get everybody on this show on that Healthy Start Pack, which is $1.50 a month, $150, you are going to affect some human beings in a positive way. So they go to your website or they send you a note. They tell you that they want to know more about that Healthy Start Pack, and the rest is history. And somebody's going to get back.
People can email me. I'll just give them my email. It's newrealities@earthlink.net. So email me. I'll connect you right to Doc Wallach and his products, and it has saved people. It's what did it do for you, Tom? Though, because that's always
like I told you, I've been sober over 32 years, and I've been taking these vitamin minerals every day for 32 years. Now I'm 69 years old. My friends are all dropping like flies. It is crazy. And they can't figure it out. They're saying, oh, I was unlucky. I worked too hard, this, that, and the other thing. I truly believe that my life of living on vitamins, minerals, fresh air, exercise, no stress, has me feeling and looking like I look right now. So what did it do for me? It did everything. Why do I love it the most? For what it does for people that I love.
Well, what is the connection to the longevity and getting off of alcohol, though? What was that connection?
None.
Oh, but it helped you rebuild your body, though, in a way, right? I mean, that was
Oh yeah. When you obviously, and Deepak Chopra talks about it, almost every organ can be rebuilt if you put the right nutrition into your body to go do it. And there's a case to be made that your liver and all kinds of stuff goes really down the drain when you start drinking alcohol at the level I did. So that all, I'm just going to tell you, I happen to believe Alcoholics Anonymous, not a pill, not a mineral, not a vitamin, because I think that alcoholism is mind, body, and spirit, Alan. So if you don't address all three of those, you think you can just take a pill or a vitamin and a mineral, you're probably going to end up drunk again. And the second side of that is, even if you could sober up because of a vitamin, a guy said this to me one time, and it was right after I'd been sober 90 days. And I thought I was the king of Siam. And I'm just like, aren't I awesome? And he looked at me and said, Tom, you know that the alcohol is only a symptom, right? And I go, what are you talking about? I quit drinking. That means I'm healed. He goes, oh no, that was only a symptom. Now you need to go through the 12 steps of Alcoholics Anonymous and get to the reason you actually drank alcohol to cover up all the issues going on in your life. And that was a rough day for me because I thought I could just stay sober, but I didn't want to be a dry drunk. So now I've committed myself. I go at 32 years sober, I went to an AA meeting today. I went yesterday. I'm going to go tomorrow because it helps me. It's a checkup from the neck up for Tom Chanault.
No, I think that's very important what you're saying there. Lots of people have whatever addiction. It's the reason behind it. And I think what's great about AA, from what I know about and people told me about, it has a spiritual component. So, right? I mean, the thing that is that saying if I can choose the things, I change what I can and I accept what I can. Something, what's that famous
God
saying?
grant me the serenity to
Yeah.
accept the things I cannot change, the courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference.
That's
you were
right.
close.
I butchered
You
it.
were
I'm
very
sorry
close.
there. But no, but that I think if people just remember that,
Yeah.
that surrender to this other bigger place that is probably and you know, people who drink, I mean, I don't know if you want to get into why you became an alcoholic, but it you need to find something that will replace it, right? I mean, that addiction.
All you ever took
Yeah.
alcohol to was when you were bored, or when you were too busy or too excited, or where you had nothing to do. Alcohol is the only thing to an alcoholic. And then all of a sudden, here comes a goofball like Tom Chanault, said, let's go to an AA meeting and you can never drink again. Your best friend is that alcohol.
Right.
Alcoholics would rather not breathe than not drink. And here's some guy saying, you've got to live your life without that forever. And that hole that is there is this big around. And it's got to get filled with something. And most people fill it with the wrong stuff. Then they go to food. Then they may go to working out. They might go to Alcoholics Anonymous meetings all the time. They're going to try to fill or a terrible relationship.
Right.
So you're 1,000% right. It's an inside job.
Right. So how do you separate people from their best friend? I tell people who smoke cigarettes, you know, that famous saying about Mark Twain, he says, it's easy to stop cigarettes. I do it every day. But, you know, how do you fill in the hole? How do you separate people from their best friend and make them feel good about themselves when they probably never did before?
Well, that's because they never allowed themselves to feel anything.
Right.
And so how could they know anything about themselves when they poured alcohol on it and anesthetized themselves? So then they walk into, this is a great conversation that you set up accidentally perfectly. Then they walk into this meeting and they look around the meeting and they hate everybody in the room. She's fat, she's ugly, she's skinny, she's tall, she's short, he's a jerk, he's a jerk, he's a jerk. And the reason you do that is because you hate yourself so bad that you have to hate everybody else. And you sit down in there and you're there for about 4.5 hours. And you look at your watch and you realize only 15 minutes gone by of a 1-hour meeting. And you're going, I've been here forever, and you just want to kill yourself. And you're waiting for the punchline where they tell you how to stay sober, but it never comes. They're just telling stories. And at the end of the meeting, you walk up and you stand up and you say, okay, what do I do next? And they say, come back tomorrow. And then they said, well, what else? Don't drink between meetings. And they say, I thought there was some sort of magic trick. And all of a sudden you realize that the magic trick is that rigorous self-inquiry that we talked about, sharing with other people that we talked about, and getting into a community, a tribe where you feel loved, where you feel safe, where you feel you can trust those people and that you belong. And once you create that, find that tribe, you never leave. That's why these little kids, their moms and dads leave, they get in fights, there's gunfire, the whole shot, the kid goes to a gang. Why does the kid go to a gang? Because they belong to something. They want to feel a part of. AA is my home. They're my peeps. It's where my tribe is.
So you started to drink, you wanted to numb that, and then you realized that actually the numbing didn't really do anything. And what I'm trying to say is that the feeling, the depth of feeling was greater without the alcohol. So you expanded your sense of feeling is what I'm getting from you, Tom. the lows were lower, but the highs were higher.
I wanted to be anything but Tom, and I wanted to be anywhere but where I was. And alcohol allowed me to go there and be that. And I don't ever pray for people to get sober. I don't pray for people to take the vitamins and minerals. I don't pray for people to become successful financially. I pray for them, Alan, the gift of desperation to figure it out for themselves. I've never figured anything out that didn't have pain tied to it. And when my pain got bigger than my pride, I went out and solved the problem.
So people, like they say, have to hit rock bottom, right? They have to.
Yeah.
And well, that's great. Thank you for revealing. I mean, I know it's maybe still a little painful because, but you're helping a lot of people because there's probably people watching who have something they know that's not good for them, a best friend that, you know, even people addicted to coffee and whatever it is, and they need some encouragement to clean themselves up.
Nobody wants to be alone. You and I talked about that at the beginning of the show.
Right.
We're meant to be with people, like-minded wizards. That's all I'm looking for. People, I don't care what you look like. I don't care what your rap sheet is or your background. I don't care what your financial statement is. I don't care about your sexual preference. I don't care about your religion or your skin color. I care about your heart. Finally, I'm that man.
And I know you, it's just not something you're saying. You actually go and coach AA meetings every day. Is it every day for you?
Yeah, so only 7 days a week.
Only, at least, Tom, don't you feel good when you start? I mean, isn't that much better than a drink of alcohol, feeling like you've helped somebody? I think that is probably the best feeling we can have as humans.
No better feeling. And, you know, I'm a visible guy in the world, and people ask me to help with all kinds of charities and things like that. And I always give them money, but I don't give them my time very much because I believe that I have a gift, and I think I have a doctorate in drunk. And I think I can help that still suffering alcoholic more than I can help an AIDS patient or a tuberculosis, anything. And so I live my life in the world of recovery because I think it was an edict from God. And I truly believe that.
Wow. Well, you're lucky you found this path out because you probably wouldn't be here now if you kept drinking, right?
That is a doornail. In fact, I wanted to be. I sobered up when I was 37. And my whole plan was to go out in a blaze of glory. And I always make deals with God. So a blaze of glory when I was 40, like James Dean. So then I went through 40. And the next deal I made with God was I'm going to stay sober till my kids, whose life I had completely screwed up. The little boy was 4 when I sobered up. The little girl was born 2 months later. But at the end of the day, I made this deal with God that I'm going to stay sober till those kids graduate from high school. So here came the graduation, and I go, what the hell? I'm so old now. Why drink? So I haven't made any new deals with God yet about where I'm going to drink again because my life is so perfect. Why drink?
Well, it's perfect because you've given over to this higher power in a way. You've given over to be here for other people. This is what your life's about. That's why the contact mapping is such a important tool, because this is how we start to help each other. Really, you don't talk about that enough, but I think you should. Contact mapping is a way communities can form, the way we stay connected to each other, because we all need to reach out sometimes for help.
I don't even care if you're in business. If it's just your soccer club, if it's your PTA, if it's your homeowners, you become that person that everybody knows everybody, and you become the most valuable asset in the whole community. So just really work on remembering people, being authentic, don't trick people, don't manipulate people, become this person of incredible integrity that is the go-to, I'll tell you what my motto should be. It should be, you better ask Chanault. because that's what happens all day long. People are asking me about this, they're asking me about that, and I connect people. Contact mapping is connecting the dots. That's what it is.
Well, yeah, do you have, let's bring up a little picture of contact mapping there, because I want to take it a little further and say, yes, go ask Tom Chanault, but imagine, and I think this is what contact mapping is so important, if everybody was that person, if everyone was so interconnected in a global community that we could help each other instantly. So not just Tom Chanault or me, Alan Steinfeld, but if everyone was the go-to person, just can you envision a world like that, Tom?
What if we weren't looking through and instead we were looking at? What if we talked to instead of throwing up on people? What if we actually listened to the great questions we think we answer? That's all it is. We are in a complete and total techie world. And another thing that's happening to you, Alan, Facebook's free, LinkedIn's free, Twitter's free. So many things are free. And if you're naive enough to think they're free, you're out of your mind. When something like that is free, it's because you are the product.
Right.
They're
Yes.
stealing your data.
Are they stealing our data, or are they making the world smaller? Of course, they're stealing data anyway, but of course, yeah. But are they also making the world a smaller, friendlier, cozier place to be?
Yeah, but at the same time, you deserve to have privacy, internet privacy, database privacy. Your most valuable asset in your life, in my opinion, is your database, your Rolodex, your contact list. And I believe it's the most abused thing you have. And if you go just think about your relatives and you think about your cousin Susie, and then try to tell me her husband's name and her 3 kids' names, and just go through the whole list of how you don't know things about people that you should, it will blow your mind.
So what are you saying then as far as contact mapping and knowing other people's business? How do you bring those two together?
Well, you map everybody. So on Facebook and on LinkedIn and on all those places, the people put their public profiles up. That is empty and meaningless. It's where Brene Brown, I love her. And her whole story is every human being has a story that will bring you to your knees if you just take the time to listen. And my entire mission is with everybody I meet to find out that story.
Right, to find out the story of what it is. So you're saying the Facebook, all these people have meaningless data, and you are giving them meaning. You're giving meaning to this, to connection.
I know what's important to Alan Steinfeld. I know what's important to Paul Andrews. I know what's important to Susan von Stegern. I know what's important to Adrian Chanault. My job is to sell you what you want to buy, not what I want to sell you. So my job is to drop you off right where you want to be in your life. So I've got to find out what it is you are obsessed with getting and help you get that. My job is to have you leave me in any interaction feeling better about your life than when you got there. And that's what contact mapping is all about.
So imagine if that was everybody's mission on planet Earth.
Yeah.
Wouldn't that be a fantastic planet? Isn't that the planet you want to create?
I get up every morning, and that's exactly what I do. And I work very, very hard on thinking globally with people like Mark Victor Hansen and people like Dr. Joel Wallach and people like Alan Steinfeld. And then I go to work locally. And I posted a picture a couple of days ago. People hit it like it was going out of style. I was stunned because I walk to a coffee shop every morning after my AA meeting on it's called US 287. So it's a state highway. And my dog and I have adopted that 1 mile walk as ours, and we just pick up trash the whole way. And it's very, very cute because people pull over the side of the road. They think we're homeless. They give us money. They pull off the side of the road. They think we're recycling. So they want to know if they want us to take that stuff to the recycle, which I always say, go ahead and take the bag and throw it in the trash. Recycle it when you get there. But I'll tell you, human beings really want to meet other good human beings. But the only way that you are going to meet other good human beings is to become a good human being yourself. That's the key to the whole deal. And that radical self-inquiry is where it all begins. And that's where we at Contact Mapping are experts. We do courses on training you how to do that. We do seminars, we do webinars, we do it all because the world is racing to digitize and disconnect. And we are racing to connect people to their hearts. That's it.
You are racing to connect people to their hearts. So you can go get the app for contact mapping. Do you have a picture of that somewhere?
No, you can get it at the, you can get it at the App Store. Here's the app sitting on my phone. I've got Alan Steinfeld's background and story sitting here.
Okay, let me pull that up from the App Store, is it? Or is that the best
Yeah, you
place?
can do that. Just go to contactmapping.com if you want to scroll.
Okay, I'm going to go to contactmapping.com and
that way you can show it. But I'll tell you, everybody, you're going to be the most, it's like a parlor trick. You get the Contact Mapping app.
Yeah.
I'm going to do something. My son's going to kill me. But if you go to contactmapping.com/VIP, very important person, contactmapping.com/VIP, there will be a human there and they will train you on this app and you will not believe what you're able to do to connect with people. Sales, no sales, job, no job, friends, no friends. We're going to teach you how to do it.
Well, since you've been so good to me, I'm going to pull up the contact mapping website here somewhere. Oh, here it is. I'm going to pull that up. We're going to look at that. Oh, you see it on your screen there?
Yeah.
You see it
There
says
it is. Instantly, we're trying to help you.
continue.
Instantly.
Like, yeah, you instantly, like my name, I haven't been to the website in a while. It says continue. That's great. How can we help you? Great. Now this is good, Tom. So I'm going to just play your promo piece here, contact mapping. Let's see what they have to say.
Are the key to your success in business. So why aren't you doing everything you can to keep those hard-earned relationships strong and growing? We have talked to thousands of people in the relationship business like you, and what we hear over and over again is, it's too hard. I just can't seem to keep up with it. Why hasn't somebody made this easy for me? Well, somebody has. Contact Mapping is the simple, easy-to-use app you've been waiting for. It makes sure you never forget a person's name, always remember important details about everyone you meet, and it will send you a notification when it's time for you to follow up. And you don't have to start from scratch. It syncs with your current address book. Contact Mapping is more than just a great app with all the features you need. It's a whole new system that will help you connect and stay connected to your most valuable asset, your personal network. You can get started today with a free 30-day trial of Contact Mapping. You'll be amazed at how easy it is to turn your prospects into lifetime customers and friends. Thanks.
Right, and that is your very nice son, Adrian, there, and develop more meaningful relationships, try for free, remember things that matter. This all comes out of you in that restaurant, doesn't it, as a young kid, taking people's notes on people and making them feel important. And I want to say you just didn't do it so people would remember you. You really do want people to know that they are important. I mean, I think that's what your life's work is in a way. That's what you're dedicated to.
I think I'm the most connected guy I know. And that doesn't mean I have the most powerful friends. I have the most heartfelt friends. And I remember them because I love them. And, you know, the waitress, I was so proud of my son the other day because we were at this breakfast restaurant and all of a sudden he starts firing some facts at this waitress that I'd never seen before. I said, do you know her? And he said, yeah, she waited on me about 2 weeks ago. I said, what's her name? He said, I don't know. I just mapped her. because she was so friendly. So he didn't even have her name yet, but he already started popping in data, because then he knew the day was going to come that they were going to become better friends, and he wanted to be remembering. So it isn't about that game show like grabbing business cards or never doing anything. It's connecting good people with good people, and that's what you want to focus on. We need more of that.
That is going to change the planet. You realize that. That exact technology and that connection. And that's why we're all in this sort of crisis together, because we needed a different way. We needed a new way of being with the planet, with each other. A lot of people have told me that they've gotten closer to their family. I mean, I think I have. So where the world is changing, and we need technology to assist a decentralization. I think people are leaving the cities, and we need to stay connected in ways that cities were so much a part of. People came to cities because they wanted to be with other people. Maybe that's not happening in the same way. Maybe it is, but also things are changing. So this is the technology that will connect us. And
you're 100% right now, and I love you, man. And whatever I can do to become a bigger part of New Realities, become a bigger part of your life, I'll do it in a heartbeat. You are a difference maker, whether it be, just your guest list, DiMartino and
John DiMartino is a great guy.
Yeah.
Every time Deepak Chopra has a new book, he calls me up and says, "Do you want to interview me?" I said, "Let me think about it." No, I joke. I say, of course, because he said to me, it's in one of my interviews, I could say things on New Realities that I can't say on NBC.
Yeah.
He's a very spiritual guy, and he goes deep, and network television isn't looking for that. But on my show, like we're talking here, he says those deep kind of insights that he gets from 2 or 3 hours of meditation every day. So I'm happy to provide a service for people like Deepak and Marianne and Bruce Lipton. That's Bruce. I sort of discovered Bruce Lipton, I have to say. I knew him before he was, you know who he is, right, Tom?
Yeah, of course. I didn't know you knew him.
I knew him very well. I showed up at his house in 1999 and said, "You're going to be a star," because this was before he had a book, and I read a couple of articles about him in a newspaper, and a kind of alternative newspaper in Washington State. I was up in that area. We drove down to his place in Northern California, and, he puts it out there. I brought him to New York with the Institute of Noetic Sciences, and before anyone knew him, I said he had the next level of bringing the body, mind, spirit together, because he says it's receptor sites. There's just because let's say the radio stops functioning, it doesn't mean the signal has stopped. He says you're not the radio, you're the signal.
Yeah.
So that's like the basis of a lot of his work, and of course epigenetics. But anyway, I knew it was going to be great. So I use this portal, this New Realities, as a way of finding new talent. I call it America Got Spiritual Talent. So this is it. And you're my next superstar, Tom. Although
I am going to get you my buddy, the actor, Will Vaught. They're in New York City. I'm going to get you Mark Victor Hansen, because you are a contribution to this planet, and people need to hear what you've got to say.
Great. And also get me some people that people don't know. If you meet someone who has a message and you say everyone has to hear this, send them my way, because that's also excites me. Like finding original, unique messages and talents that open other people up to new realities. I call this program New Realities because that's exactly what my intention is to shift consciousness. And I know you're thinking, I know you're going through your little...
I got two people in my head right now. I got two unbelievable people that you're going to hear from in the next 24 hours that are perfect for this.
Great. Tell them to tell me Tom sent them. Tom, and you said, before we finish up here, you said there was something else you just got into. There was another business. Didn't you tell me that there was something else you were excited?
No, I do young. Here's what my deal is.
Okay.
My passion is alcoholics and drug addicts.
Okay.
My job is longevity.
Oh yeah,
And
I want to post that longevity health. This is my, if you want interested in anything Tom said about longevity, call this number 888-275-7755. Ask about longevity, vital health news, and you'll get the great products that longevity has to offer.
anybody gives you any trouble, and when you dial that number, here's the 3 words that you remember. Gotta call Tom.
Okay.
So we're going to make sure you get handled the right way with respect and love and knowledge. So make sure you call. Alan has changed my life. I love him, and I believe that he can change yours. So the last thing I want to say is my job is longevity, but my legacy is contact mapping. So it's Alcoholics Anonymous, it's network marketing, it's contact mapping, and they all work perfectly together.
You know, I also want to say your job, Tom, is being kind to whoever comes your way and taking an interest in whoever people are. I mean, the down and out alcoholic, the rich socialite, you know, in a way you treat them all the same. You
Absolutely.
Really do. That's a gift. That's like you're not kissing up to anyone. You're not looking down at anyone. I'm not saying this to put you up, but I don't even know you, but I get that's how you work. I really do, because you've been both. You've been the socialite, you've been the down and out. So it's like, how can you judge anyone, right?
I would rather be out, you know, if I had a choice, if I had the perfect world, if I could just have this fantasy, I would be a hobo with $1 million in the bank, because my tribe's there. You know, I don't want to be dirt poor and laying in the street. But I love those people. They are so real. I like having some dough. So I'm really total contradiction to myself. But my tribe is those people in the AA meetings. That's where I really, really, really get filled up every day.
Yeah, no, Tom, thanks for everything. Thanks for spending time here. And it's we'll keep doing this because I think this is another form of helping people. Just want to say, you know what, you know Marshall Rosenberg, nonviolent communication. Do you know that work?
No, but I want to.
Nonviolent communication. Look up NVC. He developed a way to talk to people, a way to understand people. It's a whole new way of communicating. And it's being for people. You're for people, whoever you speak to. And he said one thing that stands out. He said lots of things. He says people need to receive love, of course, but people have a need to give love.
Yeah.
So when you ask someone on the street for directions, most of the time people are all too happy to give you directions because you're meeting their need for giving.
Wow. Great point.
It is a great point, and it's something I always remember. So thank you for your time. Thank you for giving all that you do here and beyond. I sent you a little text there. And Tom, let's do it again when you, and yeah, definitely get me Mark Victor Hansen and those 2 other people and the actor in New York, and spread my bath picture around wherever you want. And
you got it, baby. Today you're going to be famous. It's going to be a great day for you. You don't even no idea.
Okay, thanks. It's already been a great day, just this conversation. Okay.
All right, I love you, man.
Tom Chanault, contact mapping, the genius behind the creation, and this is his passion, contact mapping, and we'll all have a great day. Okay.
Thank you, thank you, thank you.
We are going to do it again. Thank you all in the chat here on New Realities, and look forward to new shows. I think I have another show at 5 with an amazing yoga teacher. Tom, thanks for everything. I am signing off.
See you later, man. Bye-bye.
Tom